Ah, my dear ones, as you know, I'm starting my explications of text slightly different way now. I must decide if I really want to, if I really want to live this life. I must decide if I really need it, if I really breathe it, breathe this life. Oh, you must decide. Do you really want to? Tell me, do you? Do you really want to live this life? And as you know, I go from here with this original music, which only sets the stage for the explication of the text to get me in the right mode. And that's what song is. And all singing and all music, it's only a preparation, including the Beatles, by the way. It's a preparation to get you there. But they're not the answer. It's the preparation to get you there. And then you need something else. And that something else is what we're going to talk about. And today, because I'm in the Hanukkah mode, and as for me, you know that Hanukkah starts for me on the 1st of Kislev, but the real lighting of Hanukkah will be on the 25th of Kislev, of course. You see? And the whole secret of Hanukkah to me is that the Hanukkah menorah is opposite the mezuzah on the outside of the door. And so it brings me into consciousness of the outside of the door and of the door itself and of Shaddai, which is from Yesod of Atziliut world, because as we all know, that's where it comes out of the whole of the bris, of the area of the phallus of Yesod. You see, that's where it comes out into the lower worlds. You see, out of the Yesod area. And this Yesod area is called, the name of the spirituality of God's name there is Shaddai or El Shaddai, and both are meaningful, of course. And Shaddai, because Shaddai is, you know, the word that's written on the opposite side of the mezuzah, in the space between the two paragraphs on the inside of the mezuzah, in the white, so to speak. And this space between and the two paragraphs in the mezuzah, you're not supposed to. Years ago, they used to put other angels' names in there. No, just Shaddai. And maybe for some, you can also write in there the following letters of the phrase Adonai Eloheinu Adonai. You know, Yud Hey Vav Hey Eloheinu Adonai in one letter following. Well, everybody knows, but the point is Shaddai. Let's talk about that a moment. Because Shaddai is 314 in Gematria. And its din of Shaddai is 500. So it's Shin is 60 is his din. Dalet is Lamed Tov, that's 430, that's 490. And then Yud, the din, is Vav Dalet 10, so it's 500. So everybody knows when you put, it comes out to 814 total with the din, but let's just leave the din of 500. Because, the din of 500 that added into Shaddai, the 500 is the big deal here. Because 500 is the gematria of Poru Urvu, the first commandment. And this Shaddai is the name on the doorpost, you see. So when you're touching this Shaddai, you're touching this commandment of Poru Voru, it's 500. And so the din of 500 that goes on the doorpost, of the mezuzah that goes on the doorpost, and its din is 500. Now this is a little bit of a hiddush. If you find it someplace else, please tell me. Otherwise, it's new. The gematria, the letters in Hebrew alphabet, all have numbers, of course. And what is the gematria that's 500? Remember, the letters go 1 and then 400. But what's 500? It's the final letter, Kaf. And when you look at the final letter, Kaf, you'll see that it looks like a doorpost with a lintel on top, a lintel, whatever it's called. I don't know how to do it here. And a line down the right side, that's a final Kaf. That 500 is why the mezuzah is on the right side of the doorpost. Because when you put a mezuzah there with the name Shaddai, 314, and the Kaf of the final, of what the doorpost looks like with the thing on with the mezuzah on the right, you have 500 from the Kaf, and you have 314 from the mezuzah, and that's 814, and that's the total number. So we add the Kaf, the final Kaf. There are other things about 500. 500 is the full spelling of the word of the letter Resh. Resh Shin is 500. That in full is Resh 500 and Shin 360. So that's 860, and then we put 1 for all, and that's the Roshei Tivo of Aleph, Samek, final Pei, which is one of the ways that they depict Ein Sof. You're dealing in Ein Sof. You're dealing in Ein Sof when you're touching this mezuzah. Why? Because it comes through the bris. It comes through Yesod of Atzilyon, like everything else. And these are the Malakim. That's why you don't need the Malakim's names. They put angels' names on the doorpost. On the mezuzah scroll, they used to do that. No. You're getting Malakim through them. This is it. You don't need the names. the mezuzah brings it. The mezuzah is the portal. It's the way for this in itself. There's a lot of other 500s here. Another way we can get 500 is if we call it El Shaddai. Now, El is usually 31, and Shaddai 314, so the 345 is Moses. We know that. But if we spell the El full out, it becomes Aleph, 111, and Lamed, 74, it's 185. So if we take the full L, 185, and add it to 314, we get 499, and that's Sevarot. And then one for all is 500. So again, this is all, it has to do with progeny also, about Puru Orvu, and the deeper sense of what does Puru Orvu really mean. Is it only children? And putting it on the doorpost of your house also protects that for children and for this what you're going to do. Another 500 that just came to me this morning is because, I did that thing that I just put on called Be a Candle. And Be a Candle, it's a Ner, that's 250. Nun, Resh, 250. And then if you really want to know, if on a Shabbos, when you light 2 Shabbos candles, that's 250 times 2, that's 500. Again, that's Puru Orvu. And that's what you do in the house here. That's the 500, and that's the din of Shaddai. And you have the mezuzah on your door. So that's one thing right there. I have other things, of course. Let me just see here. Another beautiful thing that I saw here is the letter Kaf itself. Remember, with this Kaf is 500, and that's the doorpost with the right side that the mezuzah goes on. But Kaf itself is Kaf Pei, that's 100, plus Pei, 81. That's 181 plus 4 letters. That's 185. 185 is the same as El, for that El Shaddai. So the final Kaf, in a certain way, is the El for the Shaddai of the mezuzah itself. The shin there that represents Shaddai. And the name inside, just Shaddai. Now with this 185, if we add 1 for the Kaf, it becomes 186, and that's Makum. Makum means place, and it's also Yud He Vav He, spelt out and squared. Yud, 100, Yud He Vav He squared is 186, Makum. And so there's another, these are the mysticisms of it. And there's no doubt that this protects. And the next thing I just want to say is that we put the mezuzah opposite this doorpost. And we're surrounded on both sides by, the mezuzah is such a big deal, But the beauty of the Hanukkah menorah is it's all rabbinic. You see? So the mezuzah is, Torah. It's I forget the word right now. So it comes from biblical. But the Hanukkah menorah comes from man. And that goes on the lower left. And that means that you've got both. It's theoretically, you're a partner of God. You're a manifestation of God in this physical plane. World was created for you. Hard to believe, isn't it? That you are the manifestation of a godly spark in this world. See? So these are just a couple of things here to start us off after being elevated by the music. See? And that's what the whole point is. You know? To get into a certain space. And this mezuzah space is so high. And it really protects you. And then here and then as I speak, it's even deeper. It protects you from thoughts of other people. It blocks out into your physical space the outside world's people's thoughts. The evil thoughts that they have about you. And so in a certain sense, this is a safe space where it's protected by a mezuzah. And even more so, when you are proud enough to be able to show off your menorah, your Hanukkah menorah on the other side, and surrounded by your own actions, you see. And it's the left arm. See, the right hand, when you come in, is the mezuzah. On the left side, it's being part of the, what I call the bimanual facilitation of man. And what he adds is his hand, so to speak. He does the development of the left side. God does the development of the right side. And man does the development of the left side. And that's what he does. He's given the skills on his hand that he's given, his natural hand, so to speak. But he has to develop what down in this world, his other hand. You see? To be a total person, total package, an individual. He has to add. He's given facility with the hand of his natural self, a natural development. How to write with it, throw a ball. But he's got a side that he has to develop. And that's the left side. Until the left side is equal to the right, then the third hand will never open, which is the Yad Ramah. And that's the real key. That's the human potential that we haven't seen yet, where the godliness and the humanness come together into a level that hasn't been seen yet. And this is what we're waiting for.